All right, we are back this week, and I kind of gave in and bought a few more things. More cheese for sandwiches, apples, some cilantro. I needed an onion, some carrots, a couple of things of yogurt because we have a lot of people who like smoothies and yogurt. Some French bread, some ranch because that's my favorite kind, and I was at the store that sells it. Normally I don't go to that store. Now this was really expensive, but my son loves it. And then I'm going to be making a dish for my mother-in-law soon, so I got that. And then I broke down and bought some snacks for my kids because they are complaining about how we have no groceries because of the pantry challenge. So these were on sale if I bought 3. So that's why I got so many. Some crackers and some chips, which I already ate some. And then I needed some more creamy peanut butter. Now I wasn't gonna buy any meat or anything for this week, but I'll probably use this next week because we haven't had beef for a while and this was on a really good sale. And I have a really late night of work this week with parent-teacher conferences, so I will not be home. I bought a couple frozen pizzas that were on sale, some butter that was a good price because you gotta pick that up when you find things that are good prices. I was gonna make my own spaghetti sauce, but this was on sale, so I got it. More bananas, we eat a lot of bananas, more lemons, some lunch meat, some jalapenos. I thought I'd make some fresh salsa. We ate up all those green beans from last time, so I'm gonna get those. My son really likes these. And then it's cold and flu season, so stocking up on the tissue paper or tissue, whatever, for the season. We already went through probably several boxes. And I bought a sandwich because I was starving. So this was like $110. So it's less than I usually spend, but I was hoping not to spend that much this week, try to finish out my pantry challenge, but it's very challenging, as you can imagine, to just only eat from your pantry. But it's been a good experiment, and I'd like to do it again. So anyway, let's see what I cooked this week. For this first meal, I browned 2 pounds of ground pork. Half will be for this recipe, and the other half will be for a recipe tomorrow night. I seasoned the meat with some salt and pepper, and I took some frozen chopped garlic I had and added it to it as well. Then I added some onion powder. Half the pork went into a container for the next night. I continued cooking the remainder of the meat. In some water, I added dried mushrooms, salt, soy sauce, miso, and let that cook. I also added some beef bouillon. Then I added my ramen noodles, and I cooked those till they were soft. Now I had some freeze-dried spinach, and I wanted to add some greens to the soup, so I added that in as well. And then I just served it up with a little bit of the broth and some of the noodles, and I topped it with the pork and some green onions and a boiled egg. Simple yet delicious. The next night, I used the remainder of the pork and I seasoned it up with some ginger, freshly ground ginger, and a crushed chili pepper. I then added some fish sauce and 4 tablespoons of brown sugar. I cooked this over medium-low heat until it was caramelized. And then I added my fresh green onions to it. This definitely had a sweet and sour pork vibe, but I served it up with some microwaved rice and some carrot sticks. And I put my cucumbers with a little rice vinegar and salt, and another simple yet delicious meal. You could definitely serve this with different veggies if you so choose. This next recipe was so easy and so delicious, and it was similar to the one I had made last week. I will link the recipe down below. I added water and seasonings and butter to my Instant Pot. And then I added my noodles and covered it with water. Set it on high pressure for 7 minutes, but it could have probably gone a minute less, maybe 6. Added 1 cup of cream and then slowly incorporated my sharp cheddar and my Colby Jack cheese into the hot noodle mixture. Now I used freshly shredded cheese because I feel like it melts more consistently and better. And it turned out so smooth. I added a little bit of pepper, and then I had some frozen ham I defrosted and added it to it. And that also made it really simple and easy for a quick weeknight meal and one pot mess. I think I did use a pot to cook the veggies, but I still thought it was pretty simple for a weeknight meal. For this next recipe, I took some country pork ribs and I salted them and let them set for a while. And then I topped them with the remaining ingredients. I sliced up an onion and topped the pork ribs with the onion. And then I added some more of my frozen garlic to the top, pepper, and I added some ginger and allspice and nutmeg and marjoram. Then I topped it with a cup or 2 of water. And then I went ahead and put it in the oven at about 300 degrees for 3 to 4 hours. Now, if you don't have the time to do this, you could put it in a crock pot, or you could do this the night before like I did. I cooked it the night before and then I used it the next night. You do want to uncover it for the last bit of cooking though, if you want a little browning on your meat. So I took off the onions and I pulled these out and set them aside. Of course, if you were using them right away, you could just cut them and serve them. But I put them in the fridge and I stored the juices so I could use them for a gravy. So here I am chopping off the chunks of fat, and then I put the sauce into a pan so I could make a gravy. I added a little bit of water and a cornstarch slurry. Mix that around until it was thickened, and then season, of course, to taste. Then I added back my meat and let that all warm through. Once this was all ready to go, I served it with some microwave baked potatoes because they were quick and easy, and some canned green beans. I was actually really impressed with the flavor and the tenderness of this meat. It was really, really tasty, and I would definitely have it again. For the last meal of the week, I boiled some bow tie noodles, and then I had these bacon ends in my freezer. So I cooked those up, added a little oil to the pan, and then I sauteed fried, I guess, my chunks of chicken breast. Now set those aside and went to make my sauce. Added about 2 or 3 tablespoons of butter and about 1/4 cup of flour, slowly incorporating it in and deglazing the pan a bit. Then when that had cooked for a minute or so, I started adding my milk and slowly let it mix well with the butter flour mixture until it started to thicken, and then I seasoned it with some salt and pepper, and I also added some Parmesan cheese. I slowly added this in and let it melt. Now at this point you might want to taste it and make sure it's salty enough. And after I drained my noodles, I added my sauce straight into the noodles. Then I added my chicken and my bacon. And I believe we served this with some steamed broccoli. So there it is, 5 meals I made mostly from my pantry that were very delicious, not too hard, and I was pretty happy with this week. Thanks for joining me. I hope to see you guys again next week. Bye.